At the back, you will be able to see our signature food, which is 卤肉饭. It is rice and minced pork. We also have fried taro balls and fried noodles, pork bun. We also offer steamed fish pork shumai and pearl meatballs. There's plates in the middle. You may start having the meal, but just a kindly reminder, due to the COVID-19 prevention measures, please have your mask at all times. When you're taking food from the serving center, please also have your gloves on. Please refrain from eating while you're standing up, but you may have your meal while sitting down. So thank you very much for being here with us today. The weather is super nice. It's not pouring anymore. If you're feeling it, we also have fresh Taiwan beer right outside the patio. So please enjoy yourself, and our spring reception will begin very shortly. You may begin taking the food, but please remember to have your gloves on. Thank you very much.
我希望台湾因为有台湾民众党会变得更好。
感谢各位党代表们从全台各地辛苦的奔波来到台北。
民主政治还是一个由下而上的程序，这个应该大家来讨论。
非常感谢大家各位党代表支持以及参与啊。
公司化是第一个阶段，民营化当然是最好的方式。
在其他国家到秋冬季还会更严重，为什么？它本来就是秋冬季的极点。
在未来的时间哦，对的事情做，不对的事情不要做，认真做。
我们高雄作为一个共荣社会的典范，
很多的议题其实多关心政治，就不会是政治来保护。
民江东、金屏东，听给我！
我们不需要去丢水球，也不要去丢住内脏。
台湾能够从基层扎根的本土政党，就是台湾民众党。
台湾未来的更美好的生态，想想我们子孙未来。
希望大家能够加入。
手牵手，不早交。
因为本来今年的公投是8月28号，那因为疫情的关系就改到12月18。
来透过关，来透过市长那边讲出，大家分享一下这个。
第一个当然就是反来租，好，第二个不早交，再来就是合适不从此。
对这个合适这件事，其实蓝绿都有责任。
民政公投上台好，在台上多推广上，而想盖重点。
要重申，我们是持反对的态度。
不交当短的双分3万分。
你的小世界好，你的小世界好。我们今天讨论这4项公投，我们用理性逻辑、用科学来做辩论。
就像说，反对莱猪不是等于就反对美猪啊。
重点不是在投票的结果，重点是讨论的过程。
1、2、3、4、5、6。
制度在思考问题。
高出月来。
从院方开始把这个第一时间需要照护的全责照护制度慢慢推行。
长照业务大多由这个卫生部门负责，少部分由社会局下辖。
这个长照的这个块状，未来能办的就跟我们的这个健保的这样的一个制度一样。
服务的项目也从原来的8项增加到17项。
那因为我们有了这个条例之后，也变成说，现在这些强制必须纳管。
其实我们每天的饮食里头都吃了什么东西？现在人真的是太忙碌了。
发生的这个普悠玛跟泰鲁的2起严重的铁路伤亡出轨事件，
改革台铁的这个真正的关键时刻
2年多来呢，报告中列管了144项的改善事项，解列了109项。
车子老成这样，有一半的车龄是有问题的。
Our spring reception will begin very shortly. We have also provided hot meals such as fried noodle, fried taro balls, and fried rice with minced pork at the very back. So you're also free to have all these food. Thank you very much.
来去营运，这是一个很审慎的从区域的角度来思考。
这个为了骗选票提出来的政见执政案。
With the meal, please keep your utensils. Thank you very much.
是改变整个局势，
种种非常复杂的这个国际政经局势的影响下，这次的这个修宪是必须是一个契机。
世界人权宣言以及这个联合国的各种自由的宪章。
联合国刚刚开完的气候变迁大会，这好像没有人在关心。
对于海岛国家，可能是另外一个更严重的一个生存上的危机。
譬如说双城论坛，它其实就是一个管道。
台湾会以民众为主。
没有反对3阶，我们反对的是他选址错误。
两边这样子的一个充分的理性的论述。
地球未来1年风调雨顺，国泰民安。
没办法做到，那都是靠着我们现在要上善心嘛。
是耶诞节也是我们发行2022年我们的女力月历。
是工作照，都是在这一次的一个元素当中。
Good afternoon, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Taiwan People's Party International Spring Reception. My name is Annie Cole, and I'll be your host for today. It is extremely my honor here to be standing here today to witness this historic moment, because this reception is actually the first international event held by Taiwan People's Party since its establishment. So round of applause, and thank you all for being with us here today. Today we are still challenged by the COVID-19 pandemic, but TPP has been striving its best to make this reception happen. Today our core members of TPP, along with our chairman, Chairman Ke, and all of you guys, I also see a lot of familiar faces from representatives from foreign offices here in Taipei to be joining with us on this celebration for this special day. We are from different backgrounds, ethnicity, and cultures, but we are here today for the same vision, and that is to further enhance exchanges within this international community, at the same time to also foster a greater change not only for our citizens, but also your citizens. So may we today have good company, good environment, good weather, and of course, look around you, good Taiwanese authentic food today. So thank you all very much for being with us. Before we start the reception, please allow me to give me a few minutes to introduce you all the food we have today. The food you're seeing next to you, the table in the middle, and the table behind you, they're all Taiwanese authentic food from Ningxia Yeshi, Ningxia Night Market. A lot of food has been featured the National Day here in Taiwan banquet. We have fried taro balls, pork bun, fried rice noodle, beef soup, and etc. But here's a kindly reminder, due to the COVID-19 prevention measures, please have your mask on at all times. If you are taking food from the serving center, please also wear your gloves. Please try to refrain from eating while you're standing up due to the COVID-19 prevention measures, but you may enjoy your meal while sitting down. Taiwan People's Party is very glad and grateful to have you joining with us here today. Now, ladies and gentlemen, before anything, may I please first welcome International Affairs Committee Chairman, Ambassador Leonel Chow, onto the stage and give us his warm remarks. Welcome.
All right. Well, I appreciate your attention, and good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. As you know, this is the first international event held by Taiwan People's Party, TPP in short, ever since its birth less than 3 years ago. So thanks to all of you, ladies and gentlemen, for honoring us with your kind attendance in this event. And also, I would like to emphasize, thank you all, ladies and gentlemen, for bringing us such a wonderful weather today. Wonderful weather. Okay, it's a sunny, bright out there after a few days of rains. So I think it's a good omen. It's a good omen for Taiwan People's Party, isn't it? All right, okay. Well, my name is Leonard Chow. Thank you, Annie, for your kind introduction. And I used to be ambassador, not anymore. So in my business card, I'm supposed to put some small prints after my humble name, Leonard Chow, then a small prints AMB, RET, which stands for Ambassador Retired. And that's what I am now. Well, many years ago, when I was in Washington, working and living there, I recall that a senior friend gave me a card like that. And my son, the little boy then, he spotted that words in his business card. So he asked me, Daddy, I guess A and B stands for ambassador. But what does RET stand for? Retarded? Retarded. All right, so I know, okay, I didn't hear any laughter. Okay, so maybe he might be right. You know, there's a certain resemblance between the retiree and the retired. Anyway, okay, today, such a good weather. It's a golf season. If you want to keep yourself from getting retarded, you have to be working out. Do some exercise, whatever you can. And the golf is one of them. Today is a golf season. As you know, we're celebrating springtime. Spring is here. I suppose some of you are great golfers. Like my good friend, the Polish ambassador, he's a great golfer. I'm not. You know, one day, a poor golfer, a terrible golfer, he would like to take a swing on the tee stand. But unfortunately, he missed the ball. He hit the ground and it kills 2/3 of the ants on that spot. You know, 打死了2/3的蚂蚁. He killed 2/3 of the ants on that spot. But he doesn't want to give up. So he has given a second try. So again, try to take a swing. But again, he missed the ball. And he kills the rest of the ants except 2. And that's the moment these 2 ants look at each other and they say with one voice, listen up. Pal, if we want to survive, we better get on the ball. There's Americans here? No, that's an American joke. But anyway, to get on the ball, that means what? To perform something very seriously. But take responsibility. To get on the ball, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to call your attention. That's exactly what the Taiwan People's Party is trying to do and what the TPP is doing. I would rather like to leave it up to Chairman Kozaczewski to tell you what they are later on. But in the meantime, allow me to first introduce the TPP leadership members present here today. First of all, of course, the one and only chairman of the Taiwan People's Party, Dr. Kozaczewski. And then I would like to introduce the Secretary General of TPP, 谢立功秘书长. And then to be followed by 5 party legislative yuan caucus members, 5 of them. First from the party whip, 党团总召 Legislator 邱臣远. Mr. Chiu is not only the party whip, 党团总召, but also he's with the Foreign Affairs and the National Defense Committee. And then next, Deputy Whip 赖香伶委员. And Madame Lai is with the Internal Administration Committee in his LY, responsibility. And next, Dr. 张其禄委员. He is with the Finance Committee of the LY in this year. And then next is lady. We have certain distinguished lady members of our caucus. First, let me introduce Gao Hong'an, Dr. Gao. She's also with the Economics Committee of the LY. Last, not the least, another outstanding female member, 蔡碧如委员. I don't know if she's here. She'll be here in a minute. Okay, 蔡委员, and whom you're going to meet later. She's with 2 committee responsibility. The one is Social Welfare Environmental Hygiene Committee, and the other is Procedure Committee. All right. After that, I would like to introduce all the foreign representatives present here today, and I would like to, because of the time constraint, so I'd like to only acknowledge and introduce the country representatives only. So I leave it up to the rest of it. So you can mingle later on. Now, allow me to follow the alphabetical order of the countries' names. First, let me introduce the representative of Belgium, Mr. Frederick Verheyden. All right, over there. Thanks for coming, sir. I hope I got your names right. If I don't, please correct me later. And the second one is the representative of the country Canada, Jordan Reeves. Is Jordan here? All right, here, okay. And then next is the representative of Germany, Georg Bohem Poster is here. All right. Okay, good enough, sir. And then next is the representative of India. Okay. I hope I got your name right. It's a long one. Kozaczewski Das. Do I sound okay? All right, thank you very much. And next is representative of Israel, Omer Kaspi. Okay. To be followed by the representative of Japan, Ambassador Izumi, but who is not here, and he will arrive a little later. So you're going to meet him if you stay here longer. And then next is a representative of New Zealand, Mr. Mark Pearson, over there. To be followed by the representative of a very well-known country, particularly these days, Poland, Cyryl, okay, Kozaczewski, okay. Well, Poland-Taiwan relation has been very, close. I think, given the recent war in the Ukraine, I think, you're going to find out later. And then next, I would like to introduce is representative of Singapore, my good friend, Mr. Yewei K. 叶伟杰代表. And then next is a representative from Duvamask, South Africa. And then next is a representative of Thailand. Is he here? Okay, over there. Okay. Then the last, not the least, absolutely not the least, the representative of our neighboring country, Vietnam, Mr. Tu Dien Dong. Well, after all, so much for the opening remark. Thank you all for your attention. Now I would like to ask you to join me in giving a warm round of applause to Chairman of the TPP, Dr. Ke Wen-je, for his welcome remarks. Please.
Your Excellencies, distinguished representatives, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. It's my great pleasure to host this reception in celebration of the Spring 2022 as Chairman of Taiwan People's TPP. I would like to express my sincerest welcome to all of you here today and wish everyone a happy and vigorous new season of the year. First of all, I would like to officially introduce the Taiwan People Party on this occasion, our debut to the audience of international community and the media. As you may be aware, 47 years ago, Taiwan began to witness the democratization process, which could be regarded as the first wave of quiet revolution in this country. However, as time went by, certain political, social, and economic problems have been gradually leaving the country idle. And they are all urging us to answer the call to take the second wave of quiet revolution into action, which highlights structuring fellowship society and refining state governance. It is in this context Taiwan People's Party was established in 2019, less than 3 years ago. TPP symbolized the promotion of the political ideology to be Taiwan-named and the people-oriented, with a hope to offer Taiwan's electorates better choices, not only in election, but also in the process of effective achieving Taiwan value. Speaking of which, I would like to announce that TPP will recommend certain young and professional candidates to join officials and councillors elections of all levels of Taiwan's local governments later this year. They are going to represent a new generation of Taiwan's people to revisit their genuine values. And they will carry the mission to change Taiwan political landscape, long-term monopolized by the pen green and the pen blue camps. For the first quarter of the year of the tiger, the whole world has been simultaneously facing two wars, and they both have caused large casualties. First war is the pandemic. Thus far, nearly 500 million people worldwide have contracted COVID-19, and more than 6 million of them lost their lives. The second one is the ongoing Russian invasion of Ukraine and its aftermath. Thousands of people were killed and millions of Ukrainian refugees have fled into neighboring states. And all of these have collectively formed a current version of Exodus, but without Moses. During the last 4 weeks, I have represented Taipei City government to virtually join the meeting of Pact of Free Cities in addressing assistance to refugees fled from Ukraine. This meeting was summoned by Mayor Rafał Trzaskowski of Warsaw, and Taipei has contributed 300,000 euro to help refugees' medical and humanitarian needs. With regards to our battle against the COVID-19 pandemic, for the last 2 years, Taiwan's people and the residents have demonstrated a world-renowned level of discipline so that we could effectively prevent and control the spread of the virus. And thanks to timely vaccine donation at an early stage by the United States, Japan, and certain other friendly countries of the European Union, so that certain vulnerable Taiwan people could be vaccinated at the time. When the world is complicatedly challenged by the ongoing pandemic, the restructuring of global supply chains, inflation on the rise, and severe U.S.-China competition, and the more frequent bloc confrontation between countries with different ideologies, Taiwan in particular has to employ a diverse, flexible, and pragmatic approach to comprehensively review and manage our international relations. As the situation of Taiwan's threat is at stake, we need to work with all the stakeholder countries in this part of the world so that we can co-assure peace in the Taiwan Strait and the stability of the Indo-Pacific region. Ladies and gentlemen, 30 years ago, at the closing ceremony of Taipei World University 8, I said, Taipei is a city of glory, and Taiwan is a story of success. Today, I would like to assure you, ladies and gentlemen, that Taiwan People's Party is a new hope, which calls for Taiwan better security, prosperity, and sustainable development with our unparalleled enthusiasm and commitment. Let's work together, and we won't let you down. May God bless you. May God bless Taiwan people, and God bless the Republic of China. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Chairman Ke, for this wonderful presentation. TPP symbolizes the promotion of the political ideology of Taiwan named and people-oriented. And this is why we are all here, gathered here today on this very special occasion. Now, ladies and gentlemen, may I please present you our next speaker. May we please invite Legislative Yuan Caucus Member 邱臣远先生, who is also the Caucus Whip of TPP, to give us his warm remarks. Welcome.
好，各位先生、女士，大家好，我是台湾民众党立法院党团总召邱臣远。那目前也是担任立法院外交及国防委员会的立法委员。那本身也是台湾越南国会联谊会的会长，以及新南向国会联谊会的副会长。那长期以来，我曾经在越南经商，那也担任过世界台商总会的秘书长，所以长期以来都致力于国会跟这个经济的外交。那在这边跟大家简单自我介绍。台湾民众党是一个充满年轻活力的政党，虽然目前在国会中只有5席的立法委员，但是我们一直秉持着主席给我们的理性、务实、科学、中道的问政态度，在2年多的时间，成功获得了台湾普遍民意的支持与认同。尤其在最近几年，台湾民众党是国内大家公认崛起最快速的政党，也是目前国会中扮演最关键角色的政党。作为台湾的第3大政党，我们非常关心国际事务的发展，也希望争取跟各国朋友有更广泛的交流以及合作。目前，台湾跟日本、美国、新加坡、泰国、越南一样，在大国的竞争中，都小心翼翼维护着自己国家的权益。除了美国跟日本在安全跟国家的这个配合上面有比较密切的合作之外，同时与亚洲各国在经济与文化中也有非常密切的交流。以越南为例，像我国在越南的台商，目前有7000多家的台商在越南的外资投资中扮演着这个第4位的角色。那也有将近上万名的这个台商跟台干在越南，这双边的这个经济跟文化的交流是非常的深厚，这也是我们在推动相关新南向政策中非常重要着力的一个议题。而在近期的国际情势上面，本党非常关注目前这个世界气候变迁以及疫情后的区域经济的发展等议题。当然，乌俄的战争引发最近的国际局势的骤变，以及自由、平等、人权，都是本党非常关注的议题。最后，希望借由今天的开始，希望能跟在场各位各国的好朋友，还有大使们，可以做更多的交流互动，并且展开日后更多合作的空间。我们可以彼此成为更密切的外交伙伴。谢谢大家，感谢大家，祝今天的活动圆满顺利，谢谢。
Please allow me to do a really quick and brief translation. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Cho Chen-yuan, TPP Caucus Whip. I used to serve as the Secretary General of World Taiwanese Chambers of Commerce. Now I am a member of the Foreign Affairs and National Defense Committee in the Parliament. TPP is a very young and dynamic party. We probably don't have many seats in the Parliament at this point of time, but we have always adhered to a pragmatic, diverse, and rational theme when it comes to politics. Therefore, TPP has successfully gained recognition of our people. This also explains to why TPP has become the fastest growing political party here in Taiwan. As the 3rd largest political party here in Taiwan, we are also very concerned about the development and also the growth of international relations. And so this is why we strive our best to really enhance more engagement within the international community and exchanges from foreign friends all over the world. Just like Japan, Singapore, Thailand, and Vietnam, Taiwan is also careful to safeguard its national interests at the mercy of great powers. Taiwan and Japan are also very closely related when it comes to security issues. And just like all the Asian countries, we also share a very close tie, and also when it comes to regional economic activities. At the same time, like our friends far in Europe, we also care for climate change, human rights, and refugee crisis. Now, one of the major things that Europe is really facing right now is the oppression of democracies by dictatorships. We have also tried our best to really collect as many humanitarian and medical supplies as possible, send them to Poland, and have them transferred to Ukraine. So ladies and gentlemen, we in this country are peace-loving people, and we are always willing to put ourselves out there to help. we have and will always adhere to our position of freedom and democracy, as this is a value that we grasp on and shall not be bent in the past, in the present, and in the future. Thank you very much. Next, I would also like to welcome our next speaker. We are very honored to invite a representative from Poland here with us today. Ladies and gentlemen, may we please also welcome Director Cyryl Kozaczewski to give us his warm remarks. Welcome.
Good afternoon, everyone. Dear Mayor and Chairman Cohen, distinguished guests, thank you for having me today. As we enter a spring season, that was already mentioned by Ambassador Leonard Chu, is also golf season. This season is always regarded as a time of rejoicing after the cold and dark winter days. The mood around the globe, and especially there in Europe, is rather gloomy. What we hear from there is the sound of bombs falling on the defenseless cities and their citizens. In these circumstances, first and foremost, I would like to cordially thank you for your solidarity and support for Ukraine and Ukrainian refugees in Poland. Aggression on Ukraine provoked unprecedented flow of people escaping from the scourge of war in Europe, and it's vital that the international community is united in support for Ukraine. As it stands now, over 2 million refugees from Ukraine have found shelter in Poland in a hope for finding a secure environment. This is an unprecedented situation in which, for the first time in such a crisis, there is no single refugee camp in Poland. All those refugees found their safe place in the houses of Polish families. I'm proud to say that ordinary Poles have opened their hearts and homes to refugees. This is evidence of solidarity at its best. As Warsaw and Taipei are formally and truly partner cities, I'd like to take this opportunity to thank Mayor Cohen for discussing humanitarian assistance and ways of moving forward with Mayor of Warsaw, Rafał Trzaskowski. I witnessed very engaging exchange between both mayors on humanitarian crisis and the measures to alleviate it in Warsaw. A big thank to Taipei city government, chaired by Mayor and Chairman Cohen, and to citizens of Taipei for showing solidarity with Ukraine. Mayor Cohen was among the first who organized the gathering in Taipei City Hall, focusing on manifestation of support to Ukraine. Also, thank you very much for an invaluable initiative that resulted in raising 300,000 euro to support Ukraine. This is enormous support. Thank you for your generosity and readiness to help those in need. I could list so many of significant examples of Taiwanese support to Ukraine and Ukrainians in Poland. Yet I think I should highlight one example which I came across very recently. It is not only the case that the Taiwanese society on the island extends its helping hand to Poland and Ukraine in defense of common values and the notion of solidarity. It may come to you as a surprise, but also Taiwanese communities abroad are very active supporting the humanitarian action in Poland. Let me mention here a massive support for Ukrainian refugees from the Taiwanese students of medicine in the city of Lublin. Their help is very much appreciated by local Polish society and Ukrainian refugees, and greatly contributes to fostering people and to people contacts, which is a foundation of every cooperation. Thank you for your support in Taipei, in Taiwan, in Warsaw, and in some other places in Poland, like already mentioned Lublin. The best of luck to you. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Director. Please also allow me to translate this into Chinese really briefly. 我在这边稍微简单的解释一下刚刚我们处长的意思。处长说，非常谢谢柯市长、柯主席今天邀请我在这边参与这一场的国际酒会。当然，首先呢，我想要先谢谢台北在过去这几个礼拜呢，是不断的援助乌克兰，还有逃到我们波兰边境的乌克兰难民。当然，过去这一个月，大家看新闻知道，俄罗斯不断的是对乌克兰也让我们是前所未有的看到了这一波的难民潮，这过去呢都是我们没有看到过的。迄今现在已经有超过300万的难民是已经逃到了我们波兰的边境，但是呢，我们在这边也要特别说，我们打开我们的双手欢迎他们。我们非常希望可以在这个节骨眼，在这个时间提供他们住宿，我们已经提供了他们非常多的住宿，希望可以提供。也希望在这个时间点可以重拾他们破碎的心，以及找回他们原本有的信心。我在这边必须要提一下，华沙市还有台北市在过去呢一向都是姐妹市，在过去的日子里，我们也有非常多的项目，所以呢，非常谢谢柯市长也是柯主席，在第一时间之内呢。都邀请着台北市政府呢来特别援助这些乌克兰的难民，而且呢，柯市长也是第一位呢是集结所有台北市拥有的资源，特别募资30万欧元援助这乌克兰的难民。谢谢柯主席。那么另外呢，我这也有非常谢谢。我如果还有时间的话呢，我会举出更多的例子。但是我必须要在这边跟大家分享一下，我发现台湾人的热情、热心不是只有在台湾领土才看得到，我发现世界各个角落都可以看到台湾人的热心。怎么说呢？因为呢，在我们波兰卢比市呢，其实有一群非常热心的台湾医学院的学生。你知道吗？当这些乌克兰的难民逃到我们边境的时候，这些学生呢放下他们手边的课业还有工作，不断的援助这些乌克兰的难民，而且每一天甚至呢是直接跟他们互动，希望可以帮助他们，也希望可以在这个时间点可以重拾他们的信心。我们身为波兰人看到了这件事情，我们非常非常的感动，所以我们在这边要谢谢所有这些在波兰台湾学生，在波兰的台湾团体，也要非常谢谢柯主席的带领，更希望呢未来波兰华沙市还有台湾台北市过去接下来也会有更多的合作项目，也在这边特别恭喜柯主席，也愿柯主席在未来的政坛路上呢也是可以非常的厉害，百战百胜。再次谢谢柯主席。Once again, thank you very much, Director Kozaczewski. We're also very honored. Before anything, there is also an old saying that the relations of economy, politics, and society are never separable. So on this remarkable day, I would also proudly present you Mr. Jeffery Schwartz, Chairman of 4-Star Groups, onto the stage and give us his greetings. Welcome.
Chairman Ke, members of the TPP, and distinguished guests, I'm Jeffery Schwartz. I'm chairman of the 4-Star Group, and I'm a 50-year resident of Taiwan. And as of 2017, I became a full-fledged Taiwan citizen. Furthermore, thank you. Furthermore, along with my wife, Tang Na. We together founded the Jewish Community Center, and we created a Taiwan Jewish Cultural Association here in Taiwan, and we built the first beautiful Jewish community center in the heart of downtown Taipei on Renai Road, and it's now operating as of the end of December of last year. As you can imagine, I've lived through, in the past 50 years, many different administrations at the federal level and at the city level. And as a long-term resident and later as a citizen, I've had many interactions with the federal as well as the city government. And I can assure you I'm very well qualified to speak about my experiences in working with the government in Taiwan, especially with Chairman Ke and his team of highly trained and motivated public servants. Never in the past 50 years have we had such a dynamic city administration as the one that we currently have with Chairman Ke. The chairman is focused and right down to the details in dealing with all matters directly in the most simple and efficient manner possible. Chairman Ke has a way of breaking down all the issues into small parts and then have reasonable and logical solutions that allows him to build up a consensus and a methodology to deal with the larger issues at hand. My most recent experience was in the past 3 years in going through the rigorous regulations and trying to set up this new Jewish community center, which is on government land in the heart of the city, but still needed to get city approval for zoning and building. In fact, we became one of the first groups in Taiwan to be able to take this sort of special designated federal land that was dormant and empty for 15 years in the heart of the city and rebuild it into a modern building to the codes of the current modern building requirements of the city. And basically we created an urban renewal project of government land that was funded by us. And that will eventually go back to the city, but due to the special nature of the land, it was almost an impossible project. And there were very few precedences in the law to have this done. Chairman Ke quickly recognized on our first meeting that during this first meeting, he recognized the problem of specially designated federal lands that are not able to build up to the current building codes in Taiwan. He saw this as a problem affecting the urban renewal of our city. He therefore asked his team to work with me to establish the precedents to allow this happen. Therefore, after 2 hard years of working with the city government, as well as the Federal Land Bureau, we were able to accomplish our goals. Previously, many persons would not have attempted to invest in this sort of project of urban renewal because there was a very high probability that would not be able to get the legal permits necessary due to the many old and conflicting laws that were still on the books. Therefore, I'm extremely grateful to Chairman Ke and his team for recognizing the problem and helping us come up with solutions that were a win-win for everybody involved. On top of that, Chairman Ke realized our Jewish Community Center brought the state of Israel and the Jews of the world one step closer to Taiwan. A truly global city needs to be open, diverse, and welcoming to all religious and secular groups. The state of Israel and all the Jews living in and outside of Israel watched as Taipei embraced and supported our project. I feel very blessed to be part of a progressive city led by Chairman Ke, and may we wish him greater success to his plans to help lead the city and even perhaps the nation as he works to extend his leadership roles throughout Taiwan. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you very much, Mr. Schwartz. Thank you. 最后再让我简单的翻译一下 do a really short and brief translation for you all from Mr. Schwartz. 各位贵宾、柯市长、民众党党员，大家好，我是 Jeffery Schwartz， 我在台湾已经住了50年的时间。2017年我还正式拿到了中华民国身份，现在是一个正港的台湾人。目前我担任的是四星国际股份有限公司的董事长。 如果您不了解的话，四星国际主要是出口各项百货、电器产品还有产品设计的贸易公司。另外，我和我的太太唐娜在过去也成立了犹太文化交流学会。去年12月，选在仁爱路建盖了全台首座的犹太圣殿。过去这50年的时间里，我从一个外国人晋升为台湾人。这之间，我与台北市府和中央政府呢也有非常多的合作项目。因此，我在这边向大家保证，今天我非常有资格站在这里和柯主席还有民众党的所有党团对话，谈论我与台湾政府部门过去的合作经历。刚特别提到，我在台湾已经待了50年的时间。但是我必须说，我从来没有看过一个可以像柯文哲市长这样领导出这么充满活力的台北市政府。以我对柯主席的了解，主席他非常注重每一件事情的细节，同时也可以用最简单、最有效的方式解决眼前所有的问题和困境。我在这边举个例子好了。过去这3年期间，我非常忙，主要都是希望可以在北市寻找土地来建盖我的犹太圣殿。这过程呢也是非常的繁琐，需要获得市府还有建圣的批准与同意才行。尤其这地方呢又是在整个市中心，是休眠超过15年的特殊土地，将土地重建为现在我们说的一个现代的城市建筑，是一个相当困难的项目。因为这方面的先例实在是少之又少。但是当我和柯市长，也就是柯主席第一次见面的时候，主席很快就意识到了我们所面临的问题。主席要求他的团队与我合作，找出解决方案。结果在过去与市府合作的2年过后，我们就实现了我们的目标。我非常感谢柯主席他的团队，在短时间之内以有效的方式解决问题，突破困境。最后我想说，非常谢谢主席也意识到我们犹太社区的文化和重要性，他拉近了以色列犹太人与台湾台北人的距离。像台北市这样如此全球化的城市，我们需要更多元化的宗教还有世俗团体，更多元化的视野以及声音。以色列和所有生活在以色列境内外的犹太人，非常谢谢台北的支持和厚爱。我也很庆幸自己是个台湾人，是个台北市民。最后，我在这边也愿柯主席在政治道路上都能过关斩将，继续坚持他的理想和初衷。谢谢大家。And that is all the speakers for today. Now, spring is here, and thank you all for being with us here today. Our refreshments are ready for everyone, so please enjoy, and may we please also enjoy the good company and the good Taiwanese authentic food around us. Thank you very much. Enjoy.